All right, let's get right into it. Today we're talking about an interstellar object that has the entire scientific community on edge. Its name is 3I/Atlas, and it's a story that starts with some very strange signals and ends with a potential threat to our very existence.
And this quote right here gets to the absolute heart of the mystery. We're seeing something out there in deep space moving in ways that our understanding of physics just can't explain. It's not acting like a comet. It's not acting like an asteroid. It's acting like something engineered.
So this is the big question, right? The one that's causing a major frenzy in space agencies all over the world. The potential answers are, well, they're unsettling. So today we're going to break down exactly what the source material claims is happening out there in the dark.
Now, this story kicks off with a really shocking development. We're not talking about a slow discovery here. A series of alarming events put the world on notice that this isn't just some distant curiosity. It's an unfolding drama happening right now.
This is probably the most alarming part. After traveling on a pretty predictable path, Atlas just changed course, an impossible maneuver that defies explanation. And its new heading? It's on a direct path to intercept Voyager 1, humanity's farthest probe, our little message in a bottle to the stars. The real question is, why?
What makes this all so much more interesting is that Atlas, it isn't alone. It's not an isolated event. It's actually part of a really disturbing new pattern. You see, for centuries, our skies were totally quiet. And then, all of a sudden, the visitors started showing up.
I mean, just look at this timeline. The shift is dramatic. We go from centuries of observing nothing, absolutely zero confirmed visitors from outside our solar system, to suddenly detecting 3 of them in just a handful of years. That's a statistical anomaly that demands an explanation. And with each new arrival, the mystery just got deeper.
You know, the first 2 visitors were bizarre enough on their own. Oumuamua was just weirdly clean. No gas cloud, no coma, that fuzzy halo you see around comets. It just moved like this dark, silent shadow. Then you have Borisov. It did have a coma, but its movements were all wrong and its makeup was strange. It was almost as if it was pretending to be a comet, trying to hide its unnatural behavior.
And all of that brings us to Atlas. And this is where the story goes from strange to genuinely chilling. It was first flagged by a system that was designed for one single purpose: to give humanity its last warning of an imminent impact.
So when it was discovered on July 1st, 2025, computers immediately flagged its unbelievable speed. But the real shock? That was its trajectory. See, natural objects, they curve around the sun because of gravity. Atlas, though, it was moving in a perfectly straight line.
So, right from the very beginning, Atlas behaves less like a rock tumbling through space and way more like a machine. No gas, no tail, a constant, steady speed, and that perfectly straight path. The parallels to Oumuamua were immediate and, honestly, deeply concerning.
Okay, so let's really dive into the evidence here. As scientists started gathering more data, the idea that this was just a natural object started to fall apart. The clues laid out in the source material began to point towards something far more complex, something designed.
Because its path was so straight, scientists could trace it backward, all the way to its origin point, and it came from a region of our galaxy called the thick disk. Now, this is a place that's filled with stars that are billions and billions of years old. And what that suggests is that the object itself could be ancient. We're talking potentially billions of years old. Let that sink in for a second. That's older than our sun, older than the Earth. It could be a relic from a time before our solar system even existed.
And this is where it gets really strange. Multiple observatories all around the globe reported the same bizarre, repeating pattern. Atlas's brightness seems to pulse. It gets significantly brighter whenever it has a direct line of sight to Earth. It's almost as if it knows we're watching, and it's watching us right back.
But it's not just watching. It seems to be talking. Deep Space Network started detecting these faint but very distinct signals coming from Atlas. And they were on a very specific and very meaningful frequency.
This is not just some random frequency. 1420 megahertz is famous. It's known as the hydrogen line. Why is that a big deal? Because hydrogen is the most abundant element in the entire universe. So for decades, scientists like Carl Sagan have called it the universe's calling card. It's the one logical, universal frequency an intelligent species would use to announce its presence, and Atlas is broadcasting on it.
So,
Let's add this all up. We have an ancient object moving like a machine that appears to be watching Earth, and it's broadcasting on a frequency specifically chosen for intelligent communication. So what does it all mean? Well, the source material proposes two terrifying possibilities.
Is it a creator or a destroyer? Let's explore that first possibility, the arkship theory. This theory suggests that Atlas is the final desperate act from a civilization that died long ago.
The theory goes like this. Billions of years ago, as their home star was dying, an ancient civilization launched this one last vessel, a lifeboat basically, carrying the seeds of their existence, their DNA, programmed to search the cosmos for a new world where their legacy could continue. And after eons of travel, it has found us.
But here's the thing. Even if its intentions aren't hostile at all, the outcome for us could be an extinction-level event. The arrival of alien biological material, bacteria, viruses, DNA that we have absolutely no defense against, could trigger a pandemic that would make everything in our history books look mild. It would be an invasion without a single shot fired.
But what if it's not a lifeboat? What if it's a weapon? That brings us to the second theory, the planet killer. Based on its size and its incredible speed, a direct impact would release the kinetic energy of 10 billion atomic bombs. That's enough to boil the oceans and incinerate the atmosphere in an instant.
And this really is the bottom line. The stakes are so astronomically high that even if there's just a 1% possibility of it being artificial, that makes it the single greatest threat humanity has ever faced. We have to take it seriously.
So ultimately, the true nature of 3I/Atlas is still a massive, unanswered question. Is it a probe from a curious civilization, the last will and testament of a dying one? Or is it something far more sinister? For now, all we can do is watch and listen and wonder what exactly is moving through the darkness between the stars.